Topic about IVD, intervertebral disc. Intervertebral. So intervertebral disc. This intervertebral disc, we know that in our vertebral column, we are having 33 vertebrae and 23 IVDs, intervertebral disc. So total 23 IVDs will be there. Because of this 23 IVDs, it is going to form. Suppose if we take vertebral column. Suppose vertebral column is 10 centimeters length. Suppose vertebral column is 10 centimeters length, mean 100 centimeters length. In that the IVDP, because of the presence of this 20 IVDPs, these are going to contribute in the length of the vertebral column almost 20 to 33% of the length of the vertebral column. Suppose if you take vertebral column like this, if you take vertebral column, here vertebrae will be there, here vertebrae will be there. Suppose if this vertebral column length is 100 centimeter, if you remove these 23 vertebrae, these 23 IVDs, so that the length of the vertebral column will be only 70 centimeter, means 70 centimeters. So that IVDs are going to provide almost 20 to 33% length to the vertebral column. Okay, the disc thickness. First, second point, thickness. The disc thickness will vary from cervical region to the lumbar region. The disc thickness will vary from cervical region to the lumbar region. The disc thickness will vary from cervical region to the lumbar region. So in cervical region, disc thickness will be less. In lumbar region, disc thickness will be more. What it means? If you take this is cervical spine, here disc thickness will be small. Disc thickness will be more small. If you take lumbar region, here disc thickness will be more. Here disc thickness will be more. So that the thickness will vary from almost 3 millimeters to 9 millimeters. The thickness of the IVD intervertebral disc will vary from 3 millimeters to the 9 millimeters region to region means from cervical to lumbar region. And next point, ratio. Even though the thickness is vary from region to region, the ratio between thickness of IVD intervertebral disc and height of vertebra is more. So the ratio means it is going to be the ratio between thickness of the IVD and height of the vertebra is more in cervical and lumbar region compared to thoracic region. So that here the ratio is more. So that's why in cervical and lumbar regions mobility is more compared to the thoracic region. Here the ratio of thickness of IVD and height of the vertebra is less. So that's why here the mobility will be less in the thoracic region. Now we'll come to the point composition. Composition of IVD intervertebral disc. It is going to formed by the two structures. First one nucleus. Second one annulus. This nucleus is also called as nucleus pulposus. This is called annulus fibrosus. So here we can see very clearly. This is the central portion. See the central portion. This is called nucleus pulposus. Outer portion is called annulus fibrosus. So here between this is the one body of the vertebra. This is the one body of the vertebra. Here we can see intervertebral disc. So central portion is nucleus pulposus. Outer portion is annulus fibrosus. Here same this IVDP only. Here we are seeing it superiorly. This is nucleus pulposus. This is annulus fibrosus. Here we are seeing same side beam only. Here same this image. Almost same image we are seeing here. So these are about nucleus pulposus and annulus fibrosus. Suppose if we see the structures, IVD intervertebral disc, in this we will be having two structures. First one nucleus pulposus, second one annulus fibrosus. In this nucleus pulposus, how it is going to form by the means? It is going to form by the water and collagen of that proteoglycans. Water, collagen and proteoglycans. Here annulus fibrosus also same. Water will be there, collagen will be there, collagen and proteoglycans will be. So these three structures are common for the both nucleus pulposus and annulus fibrosus. Only one variation is here proteoglycans are more in nucleus pulposus, but here proteoglycans are less content of proteoglycans will be present in the annulus fibrosus. And one more here, collagen fibers will be more in the annulus fibrosus. Here collagen fibers will be less in the nucleus pulposus. These are the some structural variations in this IVDP, intervertebral disc. Okay, nucleus pulposus, annulus fibrosus. These structures are common in both. Nucleus pulposus and annulus fibrosus. Only proteoglycans and some fluid content will be more in the nucleus pulposus. Proteoglycan content is less in the annulus fibrosus. Collagen fibers will be less in nucleus pulposus. Collagen fibers are more in the annulus fibrosus. Now we'll see nucleus pulposus, two special points. In this nucleus pulposus, total 7 types of collagens are there. Total 7 types of collagens are found in that type 1. In that type 1 is more. Type 1 of collagen, it is going to provide the tensile. It is going to useful in the tensile stress. Tensile stress means nothing but if one object is there, so the force which is going to create the distraction, that is nothing but tensile stress. So type 1 collagen fibers will be helpful for the tensile, and type 2 collagens are going to be helpful for the compression. Compression force or stress. Compression means opposite. One object will be there, one object will be there. The compression force will be like this. It is going to compress the object. So in nucleus pulposus, instead of, see here we saw no proteoglycans, water and collagen. Proteoglycans, water and collagen. The structures will be there. In this proteoglycans, water, collagen, total 7 types will be there. In that, type 1, type 2 are more important because type 1 is going to helpful in the tensile stress forces. Type 2 is going to helpful in the compressive stress forces. Okay. So these are annulus fibrosis. Here also we know the composition. Here water will be there, proteoglycans will be there, and collagen will be there. In this collagen, type 1 collagen will be there, type 2 collagen will be there. Compared to this nucleus pulposus, here annulus fibrosis, the amount of collagen will be more. The amount of collagen will be more. So that is going to help in both tensile and compressive forces. The more amount of type 1 and type 2 collagen are arranged in the lamellae. Are arranged in the lamellae in the vertebra, lamellae in the intervertebral disc. Suppose if you take, this is our nucleus pulposus, this is our annulus fibrosus, like layer. So this is one lamellae, this is second lamellae, this is third lamellae. So like that, the collagen are arranged in the lamellae. The collagens are arranged in the form of lamellae in the annulus fibrosus. And one more point in this annulus fibrosus. Suppose this nucleus. Suppose this is nucleus, this is annulus fibrosus. The annulus fibrosus is going to attach to the suppose these are two vertebrae, this is nucleus, this is annulus fibrosus. The annulus fibrosus is going to attach to the inferior end plate of superior vertebra. See here, inferior end plate of superior vertebra, superior end plate of inferior vertebra. The annulus fibrosus is going to articulate with the inferior. See, this is inferior end plate. End plate will be present over the here. End plate will present here. Okay, superior end plate. This is inferior. This is superior end plate, this is inferior end plate. So that here the annulus fibrosus is going to articulate with the inferior end plate of superior vertebra and superior end plate of inferior vertebra. So this is the connection of the annulus fibrosus with the vertebral body. So this is about the nucleus pulposus and annulus fibrosus. So according to age and degeneration will happen in the disc. That and all will see pathomechanics. So this is about the structures of the IVD. So this is the point about innervation and nutrition of the intervertebral disc. So if you see innervation is nothing but the nerve supply. Innervation is nothing but nerve supply of the intervertebral disc. So that here will be having one spinal cord. If we divide the spinal cord into two portions, see, two portions we are dividing. This is anterior portion, this is posterior portion of the spinal cord. So anterior nothing but ventral, posterior nothing but the dorsal. So what is the innervation? For the intervertebral disc means it is because of see here is ventral rami. It is because of the ventral rami and this innervation branch. This is here I draw now as a nerve in green color. So this now is called as sinovertebral nerves. So because of these nerves, the vertebra is going to get the mean sinovertebral nerves. Because of these nerves, the entire disc is going to get the blood supply. The entire disc is going to get the because of this sinovertebral nerves, the entire disc is going to get the nerve supply. So this is the innervation of the vertebra. This is the innervation of the intervertebral disc. Suppose if we come to nutrition, nutrition is nothing but blood supply. How the intervertebral disc is getting nutrition, blood supply? If there is no blood supply, nutrition to the intervertebral disc means it is not going to work properly. So how it is going to get means, suppose see here, this is the body of the one vertebra, this black color. So this is the body of one vertebra, this is the body of the another vertebra. So in this between these two here will be having this intervertebral disc. This is intervertebral disc, and we know at the ends of the intervertebral bodies, at the ends of the vertebral bodies, here we can see end plates. Here we can see the end plates of the vertebra. See here, one body is there. At the end of that body, here will be having end plate. Same here also in this vertebral body, we are having end plate. So this is a vertebral artery. It is coming on side of the vertebra. This is also vertebral artery. It is also coming on the sides of the vertebra. So these vertebral arteries are giving branches to the bodies of the vertebra. So here it is giving, and here also it is giving branches to the bodies of vertebra. At the same time, it will give branches to the annulus fibrosus. Even though it is giving branches here, arterial branches to the annulus fibrosus. Most of the nutrients, the intervertebral disc will get from the diffusion. See here, these are vertebral arteries. From here through the diffusion, the nutrients will enter into the end plate. From end plate through the diffusion, the nutrients will enter into the intervertebral disc. This inferiorly, superior also same. So here end plate is there. From this end plate, the nutrients will diffuse into the intervertebral disc to provide the nutrition. So this is about innervation and nutrition of the intervertebral disc. Now we'll see last point, functions of the vertebra. First one, shock absorption. So what is this shock absorption means? Suppose one disc is here, one body is there here, one more body is there, vertebral body. Between these two we have IVD, intervertebral disc is there. What is this shock absorption means? Suddenly, suppose while sitting or standing, while running, whatever, suddenly if a kind of load, axial compression, if a kind of axial compression load will come, means that time the disc will come down once, then again it will bounce back to normal. So that means it is going to take the shock absorption, it is going to take the sudden weight, sudden force on the vertebral bodies, and it is going to prevent, because of this, it is going to prevent the fractures of the vertebral bodies, So this is one function. And second function, stability. So what is this stability means? Because of the presence of vertebra. See here, if we take one vertebra and one more vertebra and one more vertebra, because of the presence of this intervertebral disc, because of the presence of this intervertebral disc, the stability, the posture of the or stiffness of vertebral column is maintained. Not only IVDs, not only intervertebral disc, the structure means stability is going to maintain by the IVDs, intervertebral disc, at the same time ligaments and muscles surround the vertebral column. So in that, IVD also is going to play a key role in the maintaining of the stability of the vertebral column. And next one, movement. Movement means when one vertebra is moving over another vertebra, either translatory movement or rotatory movement, this IVD, intervertebral disc, which is present between these two vertebrae, it is going to reduce the friction between two vertebrae, and it is going to, IVD is going to helpful for the free movement between the bodies of vertebra, at the same time facet joints. Bodies of vertebra, facet joint means here we will be having facet joint. So this is facet joint. So this is going to helpful for the both body movements and facet joint movements. Because of the presence of IVD, these gliding movements will happen smoothly. Now next function, weight distribution. Suppose if we take one vertebra, so here I draw one image, like, so one person will be there, like IVD, he has to bear the full weight of the body, So suppose in this image, this is body of the one vertebra, If you keep 1000 kg weight, if you keep 100 kg weight on one vertebra, the total weight will come to the body. After that, it will transfer to the IVD, the vertebral disc. From this IVD, it will transfer into the body. So that in weight distribution, the IVD is going to distribute the weight from this vertebra to this vertebra. It is going to play a key role. Okay, that is weight distribution. And last one, spacing. What is this spacing means? Suppose if we take two vertebra, between these two vertebrae, because of the presence of IVD, the space between two vertebrae is maintaining. Suppose if there is no IVD, if vertebrae are like this, the friction between these two places means these two vertebral bodies will be more, so that it will lead to fracture very fast. So because of the presence of IVD, it is going to maintain the space between two vertebral bodies. So these are about the intervertebral disc. This is very important, intervertebral disc. We will see further. Okay.